Well, good afternoon, everyone, and I thought I'd do a quick update. I haven't done an update on the Air Force tactical aircraft for some time, and I'm almost 97% complete in my tactical Air Force setup now to go forwards to 2030 and beyond. Now, you will notice that there are some changes. So there's no Mirages, they are gone. And there are no Gripens, they are also gone. And the reason that they are gone is because KF21, the new batch is being commissioned and they are being replaced. You'll also notice that there are F-16s featuring, and we've got the F-107CM and the Vigilante, which they have sort of specific roles. And again, I'm not too sure on the F-107. I did build it though, so it is there. So let's have a look at what is new. And obviously here we've got the top end, the Mantellas, the F-22 export version. No thrust vectoring, but canards to ensure decent manoeuvrability. And we've got two new F-16C derivatives. These are a collaborative combat aircraft. Now, they are AI flown, and they work from the Mantellas. The Mantellas are their mission commanders, and they are essentially an uncrewed aerial platform. The reason I've gone for the F-16 over the Gripen is because the F-16 is boom refueled, and I still need to do the decals on that one. But the idea is that these are collaborative combat aircraft flown by AI. I've been experimenting with uncrewed aerial systems for a while, and these are quite different in that these are systems which actually the AI fights the aircraft. It might have a pilot take over for landing, or a fourth crewman or crew person, I should say, on board the KC-135 to do the refueling, but otherwise they operate on AI. So on patrol, you may have one of these with two of the super long-range Phoenixes, the AIM-120s, the AIM-9X, jamming pod there in the centre. And that might be working with a Mantella. So the Mantella might be using its low observable features, very clean aircraft there, so it's not giving away a lot of radar presence. These are acting as decoys and as your firing platforms for those larger, longer range missiles. Alternatively, the Mantella might be firing two of the longer range Super Phoenixes at, say, an AWACS, and then it might be firing, say, to an enemy, I don't know, J-16 or Su-35, firing the two long-range missiles from the collaborative combat aircraft, and then going in with its own. So it's a force multiplier, really. I've got another couple of these collaborative combat aircraft to build, and they are obviously a cheaper alternative to things like the MQ-28 Ghost Bat. These are MQ-62s, which I'm taking from the F-16 Project Venom and the Vista series. At the rear, we've got a couple of jamming assets, the EF-15G, the Growl Eagles. There they are, one landed and one in flight. And then we've got a couple of seed assets here, which are F-16 CJMs, the Malagasy Block 8082s. And those, there's a two-seater there, which is based on the Sufa. And those have got the AGM-88E and some long Standoff missiles. The Sufa version's got a Delia small cruise missile. Now, really, what happens with these platforms in the seed role, the F-16s, is very much dependent on whether Academy do a two-seat KF-21 kit. Because if Academy do a two-seat KF-21, then the seed assets will go to KF-21 based. So at the minute, the KF-21, of which 72 are going to be ordered by the WHATIFians, are going to provide the bulk of the tactical air or fighter command fleet. And they're an all-round platform. They're not as low observable as the Mantellas, but they're somewhere in between the Mantellas and the F-16, at a lower price point than the F-35. The Navy, of course, my Navy used the F-32. The KF-21 is the Air Force's new replacement for the Gripens, and I'm doing a range of configurations from ground attack with long-range standoff weapons and air-to-air mix to a very clean one here, which is just in an air-to-air configuration. Now, the KF-21 does carry its weapons externally at the minute. It's got 4 meteors there, so it's got quite a good long-range punch. And I think it's a really lovely aircraft, and I'm really happy that Academy have done this. And then if they do the 2-seat, then 2030 onwards, you'll find 2-seat versions filtering through. So that is the bulk of Fighter Command. We'd have 54 Mantellas, 48 collaborative combat aircraft, 12 EF-15Gs, 18 SEED F-16 CGMs, and then we come to the Reserve Air Force. Now, the Reserve Air Force is tasked with protecting the Malagasy homeland, and it does operate operationally as a backfill, if you like, to the regular forces. These are, if you like, the Air National Guard of Madagascar, and they are primarily tasked with protecting Madagascar both against anti-ship threats, as you can see here with the JASSMs, and air-to-air threats, as you can see here with this one, which is carrying the 2 long-range Super Phoenixes, and I need to decal that one up. And this one here is delivering what could be a long-range strike using the Popeye missile there from Israel. So lots of different options, but really these are my 2-seat. They're all 2-seats. I've got one more of these to build. Now, really, because of the F-16s, I'm wondering whether I even need to bring this in. I could just do this as a one-off prototype that never made it. The F-107CM. The reason being is actually the F-16 does a lot of what that can do better. The only good thing about this is its internal range is huge and its payload capacity is huge. So let me know what you think in the comments, what to do with that. Now, the Vigilante and the F-107CM, they are also part of the reserve fleet, and the Vigilantes are flown primarily in the long-range anti-shipping role to keep Madagascar safe, and this, because of its payload of 5 long-range anti-ship missiles, that's pretty formidable there if you're planning to attack. So if Macron gets some ideas and Macron wants to retake the Kerguelens, well, the 18 Vigilante anti-ships are going to say no to Macron. So that's why they have that configuration. Like I said, I'm not sure what to do with the F-107CM. I do like it. There's a little bit of rough and ready. It's not the best trumpeter kit, but really the F-16s deliver better value for money at a lower price point. So I may just do that as a kind of a run-out version and say au revoir. There's my Mirage, that's saying au revoir as well. I've got 4 Mirages, I've got a load of J10s. Now, you notice there's no Chinese aircraft now in the Malagasy Air Force. And really that's reflecting the dynamics of what's going on in the world, because the Malagasys are on the side of, if you like, America. Basically, if they try to incorporate that Chinese stuff into their Air Force and the Su-30s, they would get tariffed beyond existence from Mr. Trump. So there's been a real change here, and there is a change, and the change is also reflecting the changes in global air strategy, where actually a small number of high-end platforms using low-end collaborative combat aircraft with some good tactical air support and having your homeland secure is actually what the Malagasys want to do. A real focus here on jamming and SEED, which the RAF does not have, and most NATO air forces except for Germany don't have. Malagasy is of course not in NATO, but the capability that this would give in the WHATIF would exceed probably most NATO countries. Let me know what you think. So here is the revised fleets. Lots of retirements going on. I think I will retire the F-107CM. I'll do it as a one-off prototype, but let me know what you think. I may even put it on eBay. there are some future changes, and I need to get these KF21s sprayed. I need to learn some songs for Sunday. I need to build 2 more F16s, and I need to do some deckaling. Take care. Goodbye.